But we begin here this morning with a still uncertain outcome of the midterm elections. Democrats are inching closer to maintaining their slim Senate majority. Overnight, CBS News projected incumbent Arizona Democrat Mark Kelly to win his race over Republican challenger Blake Masters. Meanwhile, the outcome of two other contests that will determine which party controls the Senate remains undecided. Nevada's Senate race between Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto and Republican Adam Laxalt remains a toss-up this morning, with votes still being tallied. And Georgia's contest between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker is headed to a runoff next month. With those two races still outstanding, the Senate is currently at 49 Democrats and 49 Republicans. If Democrats win one more seat, though, they'll hold the majority with a tie-breaking vote of Vice President Kamala Harris. Control of the House of Representatives has yet to be decided. CBS News does rate the House as leaning Republican. Meanwhile, Arizona's hotly contested governor's race between Democratic Secretary of State Katie Hobbs and former television news anchor Kari Lake remains a toss-up this morning. Lot to get to. Christina Ruffini is in Phoenix, where votes in Arizona's races are still being counted. Christina, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jeff. From a surprisingly chilly Phoenix, Arizona. Those numbers released last night were critical, not only because they helped push Mark Kelly over the edge of his Republican challenger, but also because they included the first batch of those day-of drop-off ballots. Now, the theory had been that those ballots would be heavily Republican because those would be the people that didn't trust the mail-in ballot system enough to put them in the mail, and they wanted to take them into the polling place themselves the day of. So far, however, that hasn't happened. Now, we're only seeing the first batch, but Democrats are still in the lead.
Christina, how has this impacted the governor's race, and what are you hearing from the candidates?
The governor's race has not been called yet, and that's because it's simply too close, and it's within the margin of error of those outstanding ballots. There's still about 300,000 ballots that they're going to be counting over the weekend in this building behind me. They're working through the holiday weekend. And, you know, one of the things that we've seen is that the governor's race is Democrat Katie Hobbs increased her lead slightly yesterday over Republican Kari Lake. It is still a toss-up. They're going to count another 80,000 or so votes tonight. Most of those are going to be from those Election Day ballots, so they could potentially swing the race a little bit in Lake's favor, but that's looking less and less likely as the Democrat maintains her lead in that race.
Well, Christina, why is it taking this much time to count all of Arizona's votes, and what are Republicans saying about this delay?
Yeah, it's taking that much time because what they are confusingly calling the late early ballots, those people who walked in their mail-in ballots to the voting place the day of. Because unlike going up to a machine, pressing a button, and having that vote be tabulated, when you bring your mail-in ballot, it then has to be unfolded, it has to be verified, and a bipartisan team has to check the signature. That takes time. Of course, the longer it takes, the more time there's been for Republicans, including former President Trump, to cast doubts on the process. Republican gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake has called officials here in Maricopa County, quote, incompetent, and the RNC and Arizona Republican Party issued a statement yesterday saying the election has exposed deep flaws in the system here, Arizona deserves better, and they're pushing for a more prompt announcement of election results. However, the individual in charge of the process here in Maricopa County, a Republican, said, look, they don't make the laws, but they're going to follow them. It's an arduous process. It takes time. If you don't like it, don't complain to them. Take it up with your state legislature.
All right, to be continued. Christina, thank you.